Last week on Wandering Monster, our adventurers took on the roles of terrifying, twisted druids in Overgrowth. They went through the swamps of Valdeez, encountering the local fishers who had been displaced by the oil industry. They had to face the terrifying monstrosities that had been twisted by unnatural magics, and found themselves on the outskirts of a company town. Will our druids leave any alive? Will they escape the swamp with their own lives? There's only one way to find out, and it's now on Wandering Monster. Roll initiative!
As the three of you stand on the edge of Perkinsville, watching this man seething with unholy energy, the energy of your literal foe. This man is obviously tainted by the diabolical Sedin, the greed. He is not a chief executive occultist, a CEO. He is not a superpower of the greed, but he is a servant with unnatural powers similar to your own.
Back in the day, kids, we used to call those a mini boss.
Mid boss.
So if there was a pot nearby, if there was a pot nearby and we smashed it, would there be a full health potion in there, or just like 2 heart pieces?
There's probably just be several heart pieces.
Okay.
Yeah.
However,
this mini boss, right? He does have mobs. He does have ads, as we say in WoW. As a group of, let's see this, about 9 workers from the town rally behind him, carrying things like torches, which, boy howdy, I hope those don't fall into the swamp. And pitchforks, and maybe one of them has a gun that he's kind of waving around, a shotgun, if you will, and you will, because I'm telling you it's there.
When you write this up for the final version, John, you should, in the Valdeez nuts country, call them roughnecks, since that's oil worker slang for an oil worker. Or pipeline worker. Yeah.
Charles, I think I know what I'm doing. Roughnecks. I knew that. I already had that idea.
Had that on lock.
My dad was a roughneck for a good chunk of his young life. So yeah, as was my dad's dad. I said, fuck that. As I'm gonna say, fuck all these roughnecks coming at us. So, do we need to roll?
You will
initiative?
need to. You have, let's say, a couple of rounds, rather, if you want to try to do anything not combat related.
Oh, good.
If you want to do anything, now's the time. But if you try to do any actions that are combat related, we'll slip right into rolling initiative in combat. So you don't get a surprise round, but if you want to try to avoid combat, you can. Sort of a thing. So let me know what you're doing here.
Do we want to avoid combat, or do we want to just roll roughshod over these roughnecks?
We should at least attempt to avoid contact or conflict.
Yeah, there's a lot of them there, from what I'm understanding.
9? That's 3 apiece. That
10 if you include the warlock.
Yeah, and he's probably stronger than these smaller guys. Still, well, if you want to try to avoid it, I'll roll with you guys. I'm still roughly humanoid, having taken on my moldy mass and become swole. So we can shamble pretty quickly if we need to, I guess.
I have an idea. Tadaric would like to levitate above them and call for their attention. And as he does, I, Tadaric, will now speak to you mere mortals. As he says this, he levitates higher. You have come here to follow me, not this fool. And he points at our adversary off to the side. Behold my greatness. And he looks for the heaviest thing and proceeds to lift it up as a way to convince them to do his bidding.
Okay.
So I'm using my gravity power to try and convince them that I am a god.
Right.
It's like a persuasion roll or something.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be a external, and other roll, power
Okay.
roll.
That's
So
a
sorcery roll.
that will put us in combat.
No, because it's not a combative. It's not an attack. He's not trying to do damage. So,
all right,
I will let you attempt this.
It's an external or other, because other is a 1 for me. External is 3 for me.
It's going to be external.
I remember we renamed that environmental.
Environmental.
Yes.
It's actually renamed in the doc, so we're good.
Which is renamed external?
External is now environmental. I did not change it on your character sheets, though. So
that's why I'm going off of the.
It
one
is now changed on my character sheet.
Nice.
So if you say that, I'll know what you mean.
okay.
It's 1 success, 2 successes, 1 to 3 and a 2.
Okay.
It's 2 successes
so
there.
Take a point of damage to your badass. Gain a point of ire.
Okay.
What's your badass currently?
My badass is 2. So I just took a damage. So my damage from last time is still there.
Yeah.
So does that mean I'm at 0 badass?
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
No. Oh no.
But your ire is pretty high, right?
I used my. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you should have a few ire, so you can probably try to stave off the cold embrace of death, or use a death curse, if you really want to. You see Tadaric float up, making this grant, like you see like the air trembling around him. Little sparks of energy between misaligning electrons as he manipulates gravity fields. You did not come to serve this puny mortal. You came to serve Tadaric. He reaches out. You can see him wrapping his fist around the energy. He lifts, and something goes terribly wrong. It's as if he had leverage and it won, and he just gets slammed into the ground. just bam. And Tadaric groans a bit. I will say the population of Perkinsville does not seem super impressed.
You'll have to excuse him. His blood sugar's a little low.
Does anyone have a tang? It's a kick in the glass.
I'm actually going to give you one of you can make the decision, Charles or Kevin. I will give you a surprise round as they are all flummoxed about what just happened.
Ratthew, you got anything? You got anything cooking? You got anything on deck?
Not at the moment. Is the tall, dark, and creepy flummox as well, or is he kind of?
Everyone's just kind of staring like, what the hell was that?
You could summon more rats.
I think I just might. Yeah, I'm gonna summon some more rats. So that's badass plus summon.
Now, real quick, do either of you have any ire?
No,
I don't.
Okay.
So that's 5. That was badass plus the summon, right?
Yep.
Okay. That is 3 successes.
Okay. And what were you were just summoning a bunch of normal rats?
Yeah, just trying to get a swarm of rats to come out of wherever. Being as there's no.
Can we make it canonical that it makes the Aquaman sound when you do that? Like,
I was thinking more like.
that's awesome.
Pretty good.
That's great.
And a lot of free time on my hands.
All right. All right. Yeah, you summon a small horde of rats.
Hell
At
yeah.
this point, I need all of you to roll initiative, and even you, to Derek.
That 1d6?
Yes, 1d6 plus your badass.
6.
5 plus my badass is 9 total.
It's a 10.
No.
So with me having a -2, with my badass now 0,
Yes.
right?
Yes, it is.
Still 6. Okay.
All right. And you can every turn you can spend a point of ire to stay alive.
Okay.
So the clocks are
Alright.
ticking. I wonder if I bet I could. All right, we'll see what happens. How many rounds do you have left?
I have 1 point of ire because the last point of ire that I received, I used to
You
pass
spent.
a roll.
Yeah.
Is there any
So you
way
have-
to heal in the badass system, like your compatriots?
There is. Let me go up to it real quick just to make sure I'm spouting correct information to you guys.
Because I'm full of mold. I bet I'm real good at healing people.
Healing magic works a little differently in Overgrowth. Your character can use their magic to heal. It can be used to convert ire into badass. You state whether you are healing yourself or another character, and then roll badass plus
Oh.
the appropriate method. You are able to convert the character's ire into badass equal to the number of successes.
So
effectively
yes, you
accumulate.
can. You can use his ire to heal him.
Okay.
So
So
why don't-
I'm not using the free turn. We've already summoned our rat horde.
I'm
But
going
now
to
that
go
we've
ahead and
rolled
let you.
initiative-
I'm going to go ahead and let you use
okay.
that. I'm going to say you all acted at the same time.
All right,
That makes
cool.
sense to me.
Yeah, I'm
And
gonna
since neither of
heal-
you are
heal my
attacking,
homie. So what do I roll? Is it what plus
It's going-
badass? Is it just my badass?
it's going to be your. It's going to be your beans. I swear to God, it's going to be your badass plus other.
Okay, badass and other for a total of 5d6.
Yep. And because he only has one ire, you can only roll.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, you just need one
All right.
success.
Come on, baby. And that's a failure. Ah, bummer. We'll try
Wait,
next
how many
time.
dice did you roll?
Okay.
I rolled 1, and the result was the number 2.
No, you roll your badass plus
Oh,
your
okay.
other. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Oh,
So all
I
I
see.
need is
Yeah,
1
yeah.
success. Okay.
Yes.
So badass plus other is 5 total. I've had 1 failure. Let's see. That's 2 successes. So
Great.
you get
Paschke,
1 badass, I think.
you get one
Okay.
badass point, and you lose your ire point. So my advice to you is, what is your
Alright.
highest sorcery method?
Highest stat.
That would be environmental or self. They're both
Cool.
3.
So use those items and try to do stuff that's going to be very
Impressive.
showy.
Impressive to John.
Yeah. Make
Don't
me laugh.
suck is what I'm
Yeah.
hearing.
No. Just think about what makes John happy and do that with your good stats.
Okay.
So you gotta
Too bad he's not Godzilla Mancer.
you gotta work with what you're working with when you love the one you love.
It's kind of like playing apples to apples or Cards Against Humanity. You need
Yeah.
to know what makes the the person deciding
Yeah.
laugh
Yep.
or happy.
Which I love, by the way. About yeah.
Okay, everyone.
Right.
So
I had a 9. I think that Ratthew had a 10.
wow.
For our
Okay.
initiative rolls.
Schlorp had a 9, Ratthew had a 10. Go ahead and roll for your rats and shadow fart,
Ah, okay.
which is a fun phrase to say.
Horde.
All right. So for the rats themselves, what's their badass?
3.
3.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Just so I have a note of that. All right. So Shadow Fart is going on 3, and the rats are going on 6.
And 3. Okay. Okay. Ratthew, you. Oh, wait. Hold on. Bam.
Damn, did you hit it with a little gabagool?
Oh, shit.
Uh-oh.
Mine is mom's. Okay, Ratthew, you get to act first.
Okay. So what I am going to do is
You still got those claws, remember?
I do have those claws. So while they are distracted, I believe I'm just gonna run up to Tall, Dark, and Spooky and try to like slide, like run and slide and try to take out my cup and try to take out both of his legs. Like just
Okay.
Nice.
yeah. So that's badass plus.
You're gonna
Self?
rat string him.
Get out.
Or is it just badass since I already have the claws out?
Technically, the claws are part of your magic.
Okay.
They're not natural, so you can add it, but they're going to dissolve after this.
Fair.
I'm going to add something into the rulebook that like spell effects last either a round or one combat session.
Okay.
Okay.
That's fine. So then it'd be badass in self then, right? Since
Yep.
they're the claws. Okay.
Correct.
Okay. 5, 6, 5, 5. That's 4 successes.
Okay. Dang. 4 successes. Okay. You slide in there and you kind of a Jesus T-pose as you slide through, scratching through. Your claws go through his legs like a hot knife through butter,
Nice.
or like giant rat claws through oil.
Or a hot
Mhm.
rat through butter.
And as you kind of go through, you see his legs reform. Oily substance dripping into his socks, and he kind of looks over his shoulder at you and smirks.
Oh, son of a bitch. All right.
Schlorp, it is your turn.
Oh, I got something special for everybody. I was going to save this till later, but I've come up with a new thought on how to best do this. So I will be casting, using myself, and or will this be summoned? I don't, John, I leave this to you. Let me just do the lead up, and you can tell me what I'm rolling.
Yeah.
All right. So in 2017, the University of Saskatchewan made a very surprising and delightful discovery. And this is real. This is not from the world of Overgrowth. This is from Earth One or whichever universe we live in. So they unfortunately were not very good at naming things as a scientist. Like the Devourer would have been a good name for this one, or perhaps Humankind's Salvation. That would have been good too. Instead, they named this little fella TSTH20-1. And what TSTH20-1 is a form of mold that feeds on petroleum, just nom, 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 gobbles it right up. And what I would like to do is use the dark power of the swamp to turn myself into a gigantic Pac-Man-like orb with a big nom, nom, nom mouth made out of TSTH20-1.
Okay. That is very cool.
Fuck
Give yourself a point of badass.
Hell yeah.
Now, I'm going to warn you that that your win the adventure button that you've just pressed is probably not as effective against magic petroleum.
Oh, bummer.
As natural petroleum.
Okay.
Because otherwise we're done. But I do like the cut of your jib.
Thank you.
So So go ahead and fight petroleum with mold. I love it.
Cool. So is that self, since I'll be transforming into this, or is it
Yeah,
summons
yeah,
since I'm being
it's
this
self.
specific? Okay,
It's
self.
self.
So that's a
And
grand
you're
total
really
of
kind
8.
of like manipulating your own
Yeah.
biology.
Yeah, that's a grand total of 8 dice I'm rolling. What's my
Cool.
pain point to become pack mold?
I'm gonna put it at a 3.
All right, cool.
Nice.
Let's see if we got 1, 2, 3. I don't think I
Cool.
need to keep rolling.
Keep rolling.
Okay.
There's a reason. So we haven't covered this before.
4? Yeah,
but-
4 total.
Okay. If you double the amount you need for a pain point, you crit.
Hell yeah. Cool.
If you don't roll any successes at all, you botch.
Okay, cool.
So,
All right.
and here's the
Well,
thing. If you tie a pain point, you have a choice. You can either succeed and lose a point of badass, gain a point of, or you can either succeed but lose a point of badass, or you can fail but not lose a point of badass and gain a point of ire.
I'm right in the sweaty spot. I exceeded but did not double. Okay.
Yeah.
But
So
even
yeah, you're in a good spot. But
you guys
That's-
hear, I can't describe it as anything other than the sound of a cauldron full of smegma coming to a rolling boil. And as that sweet sound greets your ears, you see me lose all semblance of a human shape. Like it's just like a humanoid bucket of water just falling. And as I reform into this gigantic ball, these two kind of vacant void-like pits of eyes boop, boop, like blink out, and the mouth goes creeping open with this wah noise. And yeah, I will be going waka 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 as I attempt to eat people in my new pack mold form.
yes, I love it. It's very good. Yeah, no notes. To Derek, it is now. Oh wait, nope, it is not your turn yet. So sorry.
He's still catching his breath. Don't worry.
Yeah.
It was a long fall. He was up there pretty high.
I have waited so long to put you scum in your place. The warlock hisses. He's a far cry from the last warlock you fought who screamed, "No, I'm too rich."
Yes, I remember.
Old musky.
X the musky. This warlock seems a little more sinister, even if he is not quite as rich. And he turns and he's standing, a good 4 or 5 feet away from you, Ratthew. He reaches out and his arm just kind of distends into these oily tendrils whipping towards you. Go ahead and make a defense roll.
All right. That's badass and
That's just badass unless you're trying to incorporate a power into your defense.
I think I'm just gonna do badass.
Okay.
That is 2 successes.
Okay. You are going to take 2 points of damage to your badass.
This son of a bitch.
Yeah. He hits like a truck.
Damn it.
All right, now to Derek.
Well, to Derek, kind of recovering, trying to levitate himself back up, assessing the situation, inverts the gravity. So down is up and up is down. And everything would then start to begin to float above while he kind of regroups.
Okay, so you're trying to you're forcing everyone to have a timeout
Yeah, I love that.
as you just kind of get to your feet.
I'm causing everyone. Yeah.
Okay. Give yourself a point of pass because I like this idea of everyone just like as you get up, like brush yourself up. Make sure no one's looking at you. Like slowly float up. Like, no, I never touched the ground. You touched the ground. Fuck off. And then roll. Your badass plus environmental.
All right. Pass. Pass. That's a fail. Was 4 a pass?
Yes, 4 is a pass.
3 passes.
3 pass. Okay. All of the humans float into the air. So does about a dozen rats. Schlorp, what is your badass right now?
5.
Okay, and Ratthew?
My badass is 3.
Okay, Ratthew also floats into the air. So you got a lot of rats, a Ratthew, and a bunch of humans all floating in the air. Not terribly high. Like you're not going to like if you suddenly correct the gravity, no one's going to get hurt coming back down. But everyone's floating. So
How
okay,
high? This is strategically speaking important.
less high than you.
Okay, so I can't just like graze on them while they're in midair.
Oh, I meant.
Oh, less
I
high
meant
than me.
drugs.
Yeah. By the way, I got to go off camera for a second.
Oh,
Hi, Charles.
Whatever could he be doing off camera?
he's probably
Uh,
tweeting or something.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
one of my favorite shows, Mythical Kitchen. They occasionally accidentally drop a bottle of liquor on the floor, and they're like, "Oh, we have to go get this."
Oh no.
All right.
Well, so I'll tell you what you did, and this is why you got the point of badass. It is now the humans' turn, and they are stuck in the air. So you have effectively skipped the humankind's turn. Unfortunately, you've also skipped the swarm's turn, the rat swarm's turn. But that's okay. Ratthew, what does Shadow Fart do?
Shadow fart on the ground.
Yep. Shadow Fart's on the ground.
Tall, dark,
unlike
and
you.
creepy's on the ground.
He is, yes.
Okay. I think Shadow Fart would I think he would try to look out for me.
Okay.
I
But-
love that you're trying to think of this from Shadow Fart's fictional perspective. Like, what motivates Shadow Fart? What are Shadow Fart's desires and end goals?
Well, Shadow Fart's just a good boy. He's
Yeah.
just doing good boy stuff.
Yeah.
Also cheese.
And cheese. Yeah, mostly cheese. I think what he's going to do.
And bitches.
Mhm. I'm not putting any salt in this game. I think what Shadow Fart is going to do is run, try to possibly jump and launch himself off of the Tall, Dark, and Creepy, because I didn't catch his name, and try to snag me out of the air and pull me down.
Okay.
All Dark and Creepy is his name now, as far as I'm
Yeah.
concerned.
Yeah, I
That's
never said a name, so
Okay.
let me make a note here. What is your name, you piece of shit? His name is now
TDC.
Kyle.
Alias
Kyle.
Dark and Creepy. Kyle.
That's
Kyle,
not true. All
the
Kyles are
tall,
short.
Dark and creepy little warlock. That's the thing I just wrote.
Beautiful.
Yep. Okay, yeah. Go ahead and roll your 4 badass for that.
Badass.
I bet.
Here she is.
Shadow Fart's rolling better than I am. 6, 6, 5, and a 3. So that's 3 successes.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. Because Shadow Fart isn't actually attacking the warlock, she doesn't have to beat his. I decided that Shadow Fart is a woman. She doesn't have to beat his badass or his pain point rather, and so she's able to like run up and grab you. However, You're not up in the air because you're lighter than air. You're up in the air because there's no gravity where you are.
Okay.
And so now you and Shadow Fart are floating
Son
together.
of okay. Well, then, at which point I would like to possibly just saddle up on Shadow Fart so that when gravity decides to go right, I can be mounted.
You're the cavalry.
That's fine.
Yeah.
It is actually your turn, so you can mount Shadow Fart. Is there anything else you're going to try to do?
Still no gravity. How far away did you say I was?
You're probably about 4 to 5 feet away
4
from
to 5
the warlock.
feet. What I would like to do is I would like to summon another ball of rats and Hadouken them
Yep.
to him.
Sure. Rat Bolt.
Rat
you will.
bolt, yes.
Okay,
So that's,
cash your rat ball.
yes. So that's 4 because badass is 3, summon of 1.
Yep.
That is all successes.
Awesome.
Fucking hell. 3 4s and a 5.
You there we go. Oh. You and a horrible rat king forms between your hand. For those of you who don't know, a rat king is when a bunch of rats get tangled together through matted fur, stickiness, and tails becoming knotted, which generally leads to them all dying terrible deaths. These, however, are not real rats. They are mystically summoned rat entities, and they are very alive and very angry at their predicament as they soar through the air. The warlock still has that smirk on his face. He's like, ha ha ha. Oh, whoa, he says, as he is hit in the chest by a swarming rat king that begin gnawing on him.
Shuck on these rat nuts, bitch.
You didn't just yell Ratduken as you did it?
Ratduken!
Yeah.
I'm not sure who to give the point of badass to.
I'd give it to Paschke.
Yeah,
That was
dude.
Paschke,
Yeah.
get a point of badass.
Yeah.
Brad Dukin made me very happy.
I donate that one to him.
Ratduken.
I will take it, but I feel like that's a pity badass because I'm so weak right now.
No, you came up with it. That's all you, bro.
Brad Dukin's great.
Okay.
A reminder to those who are listening: this game is the badass system is a mechanization of the rule of cool.
Yeah.
You succeed by
Great way to put
making
it.
me happy.
Yep.
And Rat Dukin makes me happy.
Makes me happy.
And here's the other thing. Creating a new character for this system takes about 2 fucking seconds. So I'm not going to save any of these guys. If they die, guess what? They're rolling a new dude who's going to show up at the next interval. It's fine. Okay.
Fair enough.
Tadaric is immortal.
We'll see. We will
He'll live in
certainly
the heart.
find out the hard way. Okay. Schlorp, it is now your turn.
Well, John, I've got to ask you a question. When was the
Yeah.
last time you made out with an arcade machine?
I would say that would have been January 14th.
Oh, nice.
Recently.
That's more recently than me. It's probably
I
been
went to the arcade for my birthday.
Yeah.
Nice.
But for those of you who've never had the sweet taste of video game machinery with your tongue pressed against it, too seldom is the question asked. And it doesn't matter which way you swing. There's a Mr. and Ms. Pac-Man, but do the Pac people have tongues? Well, the answer is yes, as you discover as a hideous tongue. Something like somewhere between a frog's tongue and those like sticky hands that you like. foam and
Yeah.
Something between a frog's tongue and one of those comes flashing out of my ginormous pack mold mouth in a grasping pursuit of tall, dark, and spooky. I'm gonna count that as a just like a straight up. Is that a badass attack, or does that also qualify as
That qualifies
manipulation
as
of self? Okay,
Yep.
I'm sort of an expert on manipulating myself, so let's let that rip with an 8 dice. And yes, that was a hog cranking joke for the Ian amongst you listening at home. Let's see, that's 6.
I'm glad I didn't make any of you hog mages.
There's still time.
Oh, that's 1 success so far. Oh, come on, last roll. That's only 1 success. Oh,
Oh, Charles, take a point of damage to your badass, gain a point of ire.
Okay.
Pac-Man, you see Pac Mold rear up,
Yeah.
and his tongue jets out, and it's like doing you know how dark side's like laser beams like do that with like clear jagged
they do
thing?
Z's. It's cool.
Yeah. His tongue is kind of doing that, and it loops around something and gets caught in one of the gravitational pulls and yanks Charles up into the air. He comes back down almost immediately, but his ego more than his body is a little bit bruised by that. The warlock kind of laughs and shakes his head. I can't believe the Sedin would fear you. Well, I would hate to call you people.
Thank you.
Which is less about you being like druids and more about class dynamics for him.
Either way, thank you. Yeah.
Exactly. And he who is he attacking? I think he is still focused on you, Ratthew.
Okay.
He kind of waves his hand, and a bullet, a cannonball, a projectile of oil rises from the swamp and slings at you.
Cannonball sized?
You know what? Here's what he does. He rips the rats off his chest and lobs them into the swamp.
What?
And then
Monster!
And then raises them back up, now covered in petroleum and choking on oil, and flings them back at you. So roll defense.
Ah, you oily prick.
And remember, yeah.
Shit. There's no way to move around since I'm floating. There's no way to dodge.
There's a few things you could do. You could summon
know what?
a rat shield.
I could. What I was thinking of doing is possibly getting on top, or like standing on top of Shadow Fart and pushing, so I could push him to the ground and push myself up to possibly dodge the whole thing altogether.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, split the difference. So
Sure.
would that be? That's just gonna be 3 because it's not like I'm using any.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll just be your
1 success.
All right. Unfortunately, that is not going to do it.
Right.
You're going to take a point of damage to your badass, gain a point of ire,
Okay.
and you get up like, let's go, Shadow Fart, and then the projectile hits your legs, which hurts your shins first of all, but also like sends you tumbling through the air. And just start spinning. But the good news is, as soon as you're out of where you were, you fall on your face onto the ground. You are no longer suspended in midair.
And Shadow Fart, where's he at?
Shadow Fart is currently in midair.
Still floating?
Yeah,
Okay.
he is now floating because he is trapped in that little area.
Okay.
Let's see. The mobs are still stuck in the air.
Boo.
Tadarikish, now your turn.
So the mobs are still in the air.
Yep, along with
That's what I heard.
Yes, along with most of the rats.
Fantastic. I would like to redirect the gravity, moving them from stuck in the air to hurling at the adversary.
I love it. Yeet the fleet.
Mhm. Everything that I have levitating, just center point onto.
Nice.
So you're
the-
essentially increasing the warlock's gravitational pull.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's gonna be your badass plus other.
Badass plus other.
Mhm.
Other.
Yep.
You can burn ire to do auto successes. Oh no, your ire's
He
gone.
doesn't
now
have
that
any
you-
ire right now.
Yeah.
Was 4 success?
Yes.
All right, that's 3 successes and 1-1.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Unfortunately, that is not going to do it. His pain point is a 4. So what is going to happen though? Because you do hurl a bunch of stuff.
Could the
Um,
swarm possibly help in any way?
Unfortunately, not.
Yeah, or
this
the
time.
swarm
Remember, because
rats
that-
into it.
Remember, because if you team up, that will cause everyone to like that action will happen later in the round. Then,
Gotcha.
let me make some notes here. And what about you guys? Okay, okay, okay. You said 3, right? 3 successes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
And so you are unable. The warlock, Kyle. He laughs and like splorts out, becoming this like patchwork of floating oil puddles in midair as rats and people fly through the space where he was and slam into the ground or fling off into the swamp. The bad news is the one of the things, like one of the people who you flung at him was on the opposite side of him. And so you fling them all, and then like you're like, okay, I've done this, and then you just see a person coming straight at you, which collides into you, hurting you a little bit, essentially. The good news is that person's now dead, as are 2 of the other humans. More bad news. Shadow Fart crumples against the ground and does not rise.
Oh no.
Not my poor sweet baby boy.
And after a couple of seconds,
Just finish
Shadow
drawing,
Fart
man.
dissolves into dream energy, essentially. Prismatic light kind of shimmers as he fades away, or she fades away.
Okay.
Well, the cool
That's
thing about
so
a
sad.
summoned creature is you can always resummon it.
That's
true. That's true.
Just drew
Most
RIP above
Derek.
Shadow Fart.
Okay, it is the little swarm of rats' turn.
All right. Are they on the ground?
They are on the ground now.
They are on the ground. Okay. I propose that this swarm of rats could possibly be afflicted with the disease called rat bite fever. A disease that causes fever, vomiting, rashes, headaches, and body pain. What I would like to do you know what? I'm gonna give Charles one of my badass because that was fucking
No,
cool.
I'm going to take 2 of his points away.
That's dirty pool.
No, there's no Ted Nugent in my space.
You're a tyrant.
0.
that was not Ted Nugent.
Isn't Cat Scratch Fever Ted Nugent?
Cat
Dude,
Scratch Fever is Ted Nugent. But
Yeah.
Rat
Rat
Bite
Scratch-
Fever is
That's a Charles.
Hubert.
Okay. If you had said Charles Manson, I would have taken 3 points
No.
away.
No.
Jesus.
No wannabe Nazis on my
As
space.
soon as I get my sick ass rock and roll licks going, baby. I'm gonna be the Weird Al of Ted Nugent shit. No, I'm not. He's just like my hero.
So getting back to my swarm of rats, even though this has been fucking amazing. Are there's still humans? Like
There are still humans. There are approximately 7 humans
Okay.
left alive.
Still, including the guy with the shotgun and all that shit.
Yep.
All right.
No,
well,
no,
what,
the guy with the shotgun got flung into the swamp. He's dead,
dope.
as far as you know.
What's the how's the morale on like how are they, like, are they still under this tall dark and creepy's thrall, or are they kind of like, this guy's kind of sketch, we're gonna dip?
Everyone is still under his thrall.
Okay, I'm gonna send my rat bite fevered swarm towards that crowd, and I'm gonna have them just start biting and hopefully getting these guys all fuckered off with fever, vomiting, rash, headaches, and body pain.
Okay, go ahead.
So,
You know,
And they have a
Suppressive
badass
Fistball
of
cleared
3.
most of that.
yes. What's that, bud?
They have a badass of 3.
Got it.
Now, I want to remind you guys, you can team up and combine your roles when fighting things that have a higher badass.
Can I team up with them?
You can, but that means their next turn would be on your next turn.
So this turn would be on their next turn, or no, they're
They
But
would skip this turn, and you would combine with them next turn.
okay. Let's do that then. I'm gonna have them kind of start circling and swarming and getting a fevered frenzy.
It's essentially that scene in the third Matrix movie where they're all dancing, but it's rats, and none of them are wearing leather.
Well, I mean, yeah, okay.
That was the rave scene that the chosen one was like getting his fuck on during, if I'm not mistaken. I've only seen that movie once, so my recollection is remarkable.
That's the appropriate number of times.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
There is one good thing from that movie that I will never forget, and that's when they hit the EMP bomb.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, hey, all those giant machines that were floating gracefully above our city are now plummeting down.
Yeah,
it is now raining semi trucks on our city.
It would, like, not only that, but like I don't know. The practicality of using an EMP in a machine dominated world just seems like ill-advised to me. I don't know. It might, all of your breathable air might no longer be flowing into the tunnels. Who knows?
I never needed that.
Yeah.
And you guys certainly don't. So, Ratthew, you are holding off on your swarm's turn.
Correct.
That means you have to wait until your next turn for them to do something, okay?
That's fine.
Cool. We're at top of the round. Ratthew, it's your turn.
All right, so as I'm dusting myself off and I see that my rats are like just basically got a circle pit going, building up this energy.
Hell yeah.
I'm also going to use an environmental. I'm going to add environmental to my role as well, because from the spectral, like, they're basically swarming around where Shadowfart passed, and that spectral mist turns into just this cloud of rat piss. So, which, by the way, there's a disease that goes with that, leptospirosis. It's a bacterial disease causing flu-like symptoms. So jaundice and red eyes. So what they're doing is they're basically like just basically building this up so that they can be covered in that cloud as they like swarm into the group of
I'm going to give you a point of badass.
I love you.
Because I love that you're essentially forming this cloud of rat piss.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's the thing I want to point out, because you and Charles have both done this now. Giving people diseases is not a great way to end combat quickly.
No, it's a slow burn.
but it's very funny, so I accept.
I mean, I'm not, you know, I just want them to like suffer just for being dickbags.
Right. You're going to roll your badass.
Okay.
Plus the 3 from the swarm.
Okay.
Plus your summon.
Summon. Okay.
Yeah, because there's you are essentially summoning the rat piss from the leftover prismatic energy of Shadowfard.
Fantastic. Oh, 5, 5, 5, 6, 6. Okay, and the rest are 2s.
I wish you had one more 6 there. Okay. Your you send this, and here's the thing. Your rat piss, maybe they'll get sick, maybe they won't, but what it will certainly do is burn their eyes and mouth. You see this group of people, because there's 2 large groups of people, you send them all through one, and they're like, oh god damn, and as they're opening their mouths trying to like scream and like get the taste of piss out of their mouth, rats are just like crawling into their mouths.
Yes.
And like you see rats tearing their way out of people's throats.
Cool.
They're being like, there were only a handful of rats, but everyone, you get a rat, and you get a rat, and you get a rat. A cool thing about rats is they can flatten themselves to fit in any orifice they want to, and boy howdy, they are going for it. There's rats in butts, there's rats and
collapse their rib
mouths.
cages. I learned that last week on this show.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
Thank you.
These people start by like grunting in disgust and like and it devolves into blood curdling, fear filled screams real quick. They are trying to run. They're trying to flee. Your rat swarm is gone because they are now busy devouring that group. But you took out that like half of the mob.
I will take it.
Cool. Schlorp, it is your turn next.
So how many opponents total do we still have remaining?
There are 4. There's one large group of dudes and dudettes and the warlock.
Okay. So often I hear, hey, Schlorp, you big green asshole, you dumb son of a bitch. Why don't you just go fuck yourself? And the fun thing about being made of a substance that reproduces asexually is I often say, don't mind if I do. And that's what I'm going to do now. I would like to divide and clone myself like a cell dividing via mitosis into 2 pack molds of approximately half the size of the first one each. And I think that would count as self and badass.
It would.
And what are you going to put the main point of that as? And it's just going to be another, like, let's say that until I recombine, the way we could do this is by doing maybe half the badass for each one.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, cool.
Is one a Mrs. Pack mold?
Yes, absolutely.
With the bow?
Yeah, with the bow.
Yes.
Like,
Okay.
It pops up, it doesn't make like a bow noise. It sounds kind of like, I don't know, if you've ever dropped a lily pad onto someone's head for fun, that's kind of what it sounded like.
I was going to suggest maybe if you've ever stepped in a pile of toothpaste.
Oh, that's even better. Yeah. Yeah. I wonder, would that be sticky, or would you slip and like break your neck? I don't know.
No, you slip.
Oh yeah.
Let's see if I can successfully divide myself.
Please do.
What's the pain point at?
We're gonna put it at 3.
Okay, that's 7 dice, so it shouldn't be a problem. Not off to a good start. Now we're doing good. So that's 2 and 3. So perfect. I'm at it. So cool. I will take a point off my badass.
No. That's
okay.
Yeah, you hit the pain point. That's fine. Sorry, y'all hear that?
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, let me look. When you create your own game, sometimes you have to look at the rules and say, "What did I say here? What did I say happens?"
It's also part of the playtesting process.
Yes. Let's see here. Ties. That should be in your section. Come on, buddy. Getting even, healing, magic, teaming up, dealing and taking damage. Come on, I know there's ties somewhere. Ties. Okay, if you tie on a badass challenge, you lose a point of badass and succeed, or you fail and gain ire. So what do you want to do, Charles?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Is I'm happy to take the point off the badass, but for the purpose of the game, since I'll be playing two characters with it would be hard to do 1.5 badass per person, since I'm going to become two of them. So
I'll give them both 2.
Okay, cool. And then I can have
make
3
note that
we
when you
recombine. Yeah. Got it. Okay, that's what I was hoping we could bargain.
that makes
towards.
sense.
So
That makes sense to me.
I successfully, and the sound is unspeakable and totally unimitatable, especially with a human mouth, which for the purposes of this Twitch stream I have. So like when the cameras are off, you don't know what kind of mouth I've got. But yeah, and all of a sudden you see Mr. Schlorp and Ms. Schlorp, the pack molds.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Beautiful.
All right. Yep. You succeed. This freaks the people right the fuck out. They are charging you with their little pitchforks. So
That's
how would you they're charging Mrs. Schlorp.
Aw.
Excuse me, it's Ms. Schlorp.
Sorry. I assumed you were together.
I do wonder if it was Mrs. Pac-Man, and then they had to they negotiated to where it was Ms. Pac-Man. But anyway, yeah, no, it's Ms. Schlorp, and I to roll defense, is it just badass?
It's badass unless you're going to combine it with another sorcery power.
Oh well, I absolutely want to harden my my mold as they attack. So we're going to do 2 + 3 is 5. All right. 3 is a fail. Okay. And 2 successes, and we'll see how we do here. And a failure. So I only do 2 successes.
Okay. You are going to take a point of damage.
Okay.
And get a point of ire.
Okay.
For that is Miss Schlorp takes that point of damage.
Yep.
Thank God you succeeded on one of those, or else you'd be in big trouble. Yeah. You harden your shell, and that's probably the only thing that saved you, as they jam their pickaxes, which is not a thing you use on mining rigs.
No,
that seems really
I'm not sure
weird.
why they have it, but
for funsies.
you know what? Maybe they're whipping you with fishing rods. I don't know. I'm not a redneck. They're hitting you with an oil rig. They're about that big, right?
Well, I know they had like the big chains that they used to change out the bits and stuff, right?
Yeah. Wrenches.
They're hitting you with tools.
Wrenches,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah. Spanners, arc light spanners.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. This has been amusing, but it ends now. The warlock screams.
Most likely.
And he is going. Honestly, I think he's still going after Ratthew. Ratthew's the only one that's hurt him.
Just beating up a little kid? Rude.
I didn't think about that. I didn't think this grown man's just wailing on the kid.
Call him CPS.
I'm going to give him a point of badass. Beating up kids is badass. Oh, hold on. CPS is calling me. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Bye, Aziza. I'll miss you.
Oh, no. Cut all that out. All right. So, fuck. What I'm going to do is... Well, how is he attacking me, first off?
Oh, yeah. I should probably declare that. He reforms after being a bunch of shimmering oil in the air, and kind of reforms as a big crocodile man made of petroleum, and he stomps towards you and like snaps his jaws at you, trying to take a big old bite.
Okay.
And that is dead on. Like we've decided this is located in, is it southeast Texas or Louisiana that we
It's
decided to
Louisiana.
go? Yeah, absolutely. Oil Gator Man that's wonderful. He's damn near an elemental himself, you know.
Yeah, he's essentially the exact same as you, only instead of following the spirits of the natural world, he follows the spirits of like progress and technology.
Which we all know an alligator is absolutely progress and technology at its finest.
I mean, the teeth,
I think
that's
so.
technology.
I do too,
Progress, they outlived the dinosaurs. So,
Yep.
I don't know where I'm going with this.
Technology, they have an incredible pound per square inch. Like they do
I
have
am-
terrifying bite power.
Charles, I need you to shut up while I think about a alligator wearing a lab coat and looking into a microscope, because it makes me very, very happy. Just let me sit with that image in my heart for a minute.
Does he get a point of badass for that?
Does he fight Spider-Man?
Oh,
No, because he's not a lizard. He's a crocodile.
But because his eyes are on there's like one eye per side of the head, he'd have to be like looking down with one, you know.
Absolutely, 100%.
okay. What I'm going to do is I would like to form my face into like a snout with like as many
Cool.
rat type sharp teeth. And,
Sure.
and as he's coming in to bite me, I'm going to try to bite back.
It's about time that Rathew's were-rat side came out.
Like
Okay.
like if he's trying to bite down on me, I want to reach my head into his mouth and go for the little dangly bit in the back of his throat.
Uh-huh.
And
It's
just try
called
to
the Ursula. No,
That's
it's a
his, I
uvula.
think that's called his vulva.
uvula.
Yes, yeah.
I think it's uvula. I don't think it's vulva.
and Ursula? Yeah.
It's
I was
Ursula,
hoping
yeah.
for
Is
a
it a
bigger-
Volvo?
Yeah.
I was hoping for a bigger laugh than that, but that's fine. Whatever. Fucking
No.
assholes.
I laughed. I laughed. Give me a point of
I
badass.
did too.
So that's gonna be 5. Can I burn that ire for an automatic success?
Yes, you can.
Okay, so I'll burn that ire, and
What am I thinking?
that's 1. Why am I getting feedback? Stop that. Sorry about that. Oh shit! It's okay. So 6. That was all 4 and above.
Wow.
God damn. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. 6 successes?
Yes, sir.
Jeez.
All successes should
Okay.
be like an uber crit or something ridiculous like that.
So it's not a crit because you need double.
Not exactly
teeth.
the double. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that was more of
and
a
he-
defense too. So
Yeah,
Oh,
but
Yahtzee
the
then.
combat is, I don't know if you've noticed, combat's actually pretty deadly in the badass system.
no, it is.
Because you don't do a point of badass damage when you hit someone. You do the difference between your roll and their pain point or their badass, which is why you took 2. Like when you rolled those 2 successes last round, Charles, if you hadn't rolled that, Miss Pac-Man would have died because he would have rolled 2 above, and you only had a badass of 2 for her. So this oil slick alligator monster is just leaping through the air, coming down on you. You look up, your face does like the Beetlejuice stretch grow.
Yeah.
Just brimming with teeth, sticking out at every angle, like the weird, horrible rat monster you
Well, I'm
are.
imagining the whole thing is a claymation sequence now, and it's delightful.
Yeah. And as he crashes down, you just open and rip through his head.
Nice.
Like you don't grab his uvula, you just like scratching, tearing, biting, and he melts around you and splashes across the ground at your feet and does not reform.
Hell yeah.
I dropped 4 rat pellets on his body.
Defense, defense, defense.
Oh fuck. You hear one of the townsfolk saying, leveling their like they turn from poking Miss Schlorp with their not trident, pitchfork. There we go. You know what? No, they have a trident because fuck you.
My game, I'll do what I want.
Land trident.
Yeah. It's I don't know why Aquaman is there, but there he is. Oh fuck. And that is to Derek. It's your turn.
All right. So the warlock has been killed.
The warlock is no more.
Yeah.
There's
All right.
still,
All right.
three
So I
people.
just have
There's still
villagers.
3 people with weapons.
All right. At this point, I'm not that intimidated anymore by the villagers. And is it doable to just gravity well their face into the muck? like just specifically targeting their nose so it pulls them down to the ground.
Yeah, you can do that.
Into the body of the dead warlock, the goo.
Whatever goo's nearby, something liquidy, something viscous that their face will be like inside of for an extended period of time.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have information that we need? Should I torture them?
Nah,
Do we torture? We don't torture. I just
we don't
murder them.
torture. And they don't know shit. Yeah, exactly.
I'm
just
sorry.
murder.
Real quick. You said you don't torture. Quick check-in, friends. How many horrifying diseases have you just casually given various folk between this game and last game?
No, he said he doesn't torture.
To help build
Yeah.
their immune system. What's wrong with you? Do you want them to get sick and die from something worse? These are mild. Pepto-Bismol will clear up most of the symptoms.
Yeah.
They
Now,
live in a Louisiana swamp. Their immune system is about as robust as it's going to get.
John, like grandfather, I am generous. It's not torture. I'm just sharing the gift of grandfather's love with them. That's all.
Okay, Nurgles. Okay, Nurgling.
Yeah. Aspiring Nurgling, man. I
All
hope
right,
to become one.
Paschke, go ahead and roll. There's other.
All right.
Plus,
What am I rolling?
yeah.
Badass.
Other plus badass.
Lame. Other's only a 1. I'm using the mud, so it should be environment.
No, sir. Now, if you want to bring
All
the
right,
mud up to
that-
them,
Ooh.
That's an interesting idea.
If I want to bring the mud up to them, I could do it.
And just
Yeah,
have
I
it go
don't-
into their nose
yeah,
and
I
mouth
don't-
and just suffocate them?
I am more for that. Yeah, so then I can use environment.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna keep that one success. And environment's 2 better, so I just need to add another 2 dice. I'm gonna get back to this croca guy that I'm drawing here. He's,
Okay.
he's a
All
cutie.
right.
He's a cutie.
go ahead and adjust your scores as necessary.
Okay, so I have an ire now. I
Yeah,
lost a
and
badass.
yeah. Ratthew, it's your turn again, friend.
So 3 different or 3 different just town folk with weapons,
Yeah,
right?
they count as one mob.
One
though.
mob. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to stand with my mouth still extended, monstrous, and I'm just gonna scream, and I'm gonna charge the closest one.
Awesome.
Okay.
Actually,
exactly
no,
what I
I'm
would
going
do.
to get on all 4s
Yes.
with the tail kind of, because I guess looking at my character, I have a prehensile tail that that's
Cool.
holding my scepter.
Mhm.
So I'm going to have
Yep.
the tail swinging the scepter around behind me, and I'm going
Okay.
to just charge and leap on the first one and go
What was
for
your what's your mentor's name again? I always forget.
Rocco.
Rocco. Okay, thank you. Go ahead and roll.
Okay, so that is going to be badass and
Self.
self. 5.
Rocco trained him in all 4s fighting.
Yeah. He's like the turtle Kame from Dragon Ball.
remember all those cool like successes I got last time?
Yeah.
I didn't get nearly as many this time. I got 1.
Okay. Okay. So you begin charging, and your tail has a staff and it's wailing around. You
Mhm.
hear a tiny scream as Rocco is desperately hanging on to the end of your staff for dear life, and your concern for your mentor distracts you long enough for you to kind of lose sight of what you're doing, and you're brought back to reality very quickly when you look down and notice that there is a pitchfork jammed through your arm, pinning you to the ground.
All right. Minus my badass Adonir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Schlorp the bow-tied
Mr.
versus Miss Schlorp the bow haired. I don't know.
So let's have Mr. Schlorp go first.
Yep.
So Mr. Schlorp just wants to chomp. That's all he wants. It's not much to ask for in the world.
It's not much, but it's honest work.
It's a humble goal. It's an honest goal. And frankly, it's an achievable goal. But to achieve that goal, the one thing that would make Pac-Man, I was going to say more intimidating, but I guess it's just intimidating in the first place, would be teeth. And so I'm going to grow some moldy ass teeth, and chomp somebody, which adds self. And these are unspeakably mossy teeth. I mean, no amount of crest in the world is going to make these things sparkle. They are like beyond gingivitis to the point of being, like over hospitable, I would say. So yeah, I'm going to put some hospitality into the mob, or first person in the mob that I can get at. Let's see. So that's success 1, 2, and 3, and I've got one more, and that's a 4 for by the skin of my slimy teeth. Another success.
All right. As you kind of slide forward, waka in your way. The look, she may or may not be an older woman. She might be a younger woman. Life in this swamp is rough, and meth is a hell of a drug. But just above her low-cut Daisy Dukes, you see the telltale cherry tattoo of the 90s. And it just gets your Pac-Man engine running. You know what I'm saying?
Even more exciting if it had been a bunch of grapes or a banana. I mean, yeah.
But a meth addicted woman in Daisy Dukes has a cherry tattoo, and you know it's true.
Oh yeah.
And you.
Natural predator meet natural prey.
I'm not saying what you do is unspeakable, but what I am saying is you bite this poor meth head in half.
See,
your teeth crunch through her emaciated torso, rip like you feel the crunch of her spine, and you kind of like roll backward, ripping the top part of her off. For a while, there's this like whip of intestines going from the part you have to the bottom part, and then it kind of lets loose and flings her legs and pelvis out in the swamp as you iguana chow down on the top half.
I love it. Hell yeah!
In case you didn't know,
give yourself a point of badass.
In case you were unaware, she is now dead.
I didn't.
One would hope.
Yeah. Okay. And Miss Schlorp.
Miss Schlorp, seeing the success that had, although Miss Schlorp's stats are not quite so good because of my unfortunate mishap last time. So in this case, what Ms. Schlorp is going to do is actually using the power of the mold, reconstitute back into the larger Schlorp organism, retaining the one ire that I've earned, but keeping my badass at 3 instead of taking an extra 1 off. And I'm willing to roll to do that with my inferior badass and myself combined.
Okay.
All right,
go ahead.
See what we can do with that. Woo! That's a 6 and a 4 for 2 successes. Let me see 2 more. So, and that's 3 successes out of 4.
Okay. Okay, I'll give you a choice. You can either lose the point of badass or you can lose the point of ire.
I'll lose the ire.
Okay.
Cool.
So yeah.
with it sounds exactly like when I divided, only played backwards on an LP. Like, you know, someone's backmasking. Yeah, exactly. And that might be hidden in there. You can't prove it in court. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. You feel whole and full, Schlorp.
Yes. Sleek and sassy.
Oh, I need to. Warlock's very dead. He doesn't get a turn. Ow, son of a bitch.
Don't do
Sorry,
that.
scratch the wrist. The man, the lone surviving dude in this mob looks over at where his beloved's legs used to be. Darling, he screams, and he pulls out a like butterfly knife and just he commences to shank him. So go ahead and roll defense,
right,
Charles.
Cool. And that's just my badass, right?
It's your badass unless you can harden your mold or reshape yourself.
I never like to do the same trick twice.
Yeah,
so instead of
smart.
hardening my mold, what I'm actually going to do is just make it more diffuse and sort of like when Oil Slick Man, you know, turned into oil. I'd like to turn into the extraterrestrials are back. I'd like to turn into like a slime mold per se.
Okay.
And make myself more difficult to hit. Yeah, that's okay, cool. 2 and 3 and 4, 5 successes.
Oh, damn.
All right. You dissolve into it. He was like, "Darling," but you are now a fine mist of mold that he is inhaling.
Cool.
You realize pretty quickly that he has inhaled you.
Yeah.
And you kind of autonomically reform.
Oh, that's bad news for him.
He's like, for a second, Ratthew and to Derek, you see a look of like vindication, triumph on his face as he thinks he's just stabbed this Waka Waka man so hard he exploded. That face gets more and more concerned as slime mold begins oozing from his pores, and he's choking as mold crawls up his esophagus and starts covering his face. It takes a couple of minutes, but after a moment, Schlorp now stands there with a new corpse inside of him.
Yes. Awesome.
Someone got rations.
Meat. Yep.
Just going to delete all these notes.
I've got rations.
Yes.
I am happy
So
you
does
guys
Schlorp
survived
now
that.
look like the
No, Schlorp looks like
guy
a
that
big,
he
No,
absorbed?
I have him inside me, deep inside me.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
a moldy gelatinous cube.
yeah.
Like moldy gelatinous something. Yeah.
That's a pretty good way to look at it, honestly.
That's kind of what I am in a sense. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Especially,
Nice.
yeah.
Absolutely. All right, you have. Sorry, I have a new tattoo and I scratched it as I was reaching for
that's
something.
what was, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Especially on your
why I'm
wrist.
like.
I've got one
Yeah.
of my own in that spot, and they suck. Yeah.
It wasn't like this part was fine. This part, oh my god, not the worst tattoo pain I've had, but not an easy one to deal with.
When I get my fingers done, that's probably gonna suck, but
I cannot wait to get bookworm across my knuckles.
I'm
Nice.
jealous of you for thinking of that. Yeah.
I'm so excited. I'm
Yeah.
also still going to get the Madness Heart Press logo on the back of the hand.
I should get it branded into my ass cheek, actually. I should see if there's a bod mod place in my town that'll do branding and specifically, brand me like Prime Beef with the Madness Heart logo on one ass cheek. That'd be rad.
You and Lisa need that.
Yeah.
Lisa has Lisa Tone is the Madness Heart Press editor in chief.
Mhm.
She has a sign above her desk that reads "John's bitch," but it does not mean she has to do what I say. It means she is my attack dog, and will often attack me.
Yeah.
Lisa's amazing. She is.
Yeah,
I maintain Lisa is the best editor in the business.
Yeah.
But we attract really incredible talent here at Madness Heart Press. Both writers
also
and
me.
our crew. Charles is included in that amazing talent. Don't let him bullshit you. Okay, you guys are out of combat because there's nothing but corpses and a half a woman near you now.
And there's your rations, guys, if you want them.
Yeah, Ratthew, you could eat that.
You guys got half
Already
a lady.
way ahead of you.
Yeah.
I'm nibbling on toes as we
Yeah,
speak.
still got that
Nice.
Beetlejuice face. I love it.
Yeah. To Derek, have you evolved past the need for food?
I believe so. I'm just wondering at what point should I become some type of a singularity and just absorb things into me?
That'd be an excellent use of your power, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just feel like once I do that,
Well,
I mean,
planet
black holes
goes,
in
but,
theory
yeah.
could open back up. So I might be able to absorb a bunch of stuff and then explode it back out. But I don't know what that would do to my corporeal form, which we don't really care that much.
You don't care at all.
Well, I mean,
But
I'll save that for next time.
I will say that the entities that you have signed pacts with, that you have entered into this agreement for your power in your new reality,
I love it when
they
you become
don't-
less human.
they are rejoiced in the destruction of your human self. They do not want to see the planet obliterated, which becoming a black hole might do.
Maybe.
If I just stay a black hole, like I said, it's mathematically possible for them to open back up.
Yeah.
Now, I will say that math is the forbidden magic because it scares me, John Baltisberger. I took remedial math because I was a theater major and I failed it.
I'm gonna use that line, Sean. I will attribute it to you, but math. I'm sorry, math is the forbidden magic. I'm gonna say that.
It goes pretty hard, right?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Stand
There
back, or I
are-
divide by 0.
So where you are now, let me just go. Oh, is it up? Nope, it's down here. I can't wait till this is a physical book I can hold and flip through as opposed to scrolling through a Google Doc.
mm-hmm.
Bullshit. So you are now standing kind of in the center of a company town. You see the company store, you see like the watering hole, a company restaurant, lots of like, oh, what are they called? Boarding house style housing. There are people in these houses, people who are probably pretty scared. Ratthew, you can smell their fear.
Mm-hmm.
You can, if you really want to, destroy this place, but you see with your little weird eyes, oh, what are they called? An airboat.
Okay.
On the edge of the dock.
fan boat. Yeah.
Yep, a fan boat at
Oh,
the
so not
edge of a dock. And if you
I've
had
never actually been on one of those. I want to be on. I want to go on one very badly, but never have so far.
wear earplugs.
Loud ass F.
So you kind of have two options, or you have three options. You could level this city for shits and giggles. You can hop on this airboat and head to one of the other locations in the swamp, or you can head back south and then take kind of the long road towards the warehouse that I think his name was Earl from the trailer park told you was to the west.
We could mold bomb and run. We could mold bomb this place, and they're afraid. Fuck them. Like the gods of the earth care not for the fate of humanity. And
True.
Don't I recall them explicitly telling us they want this place destroyed, or like all of it, every trace of I don't know. Maybe we spare them. Fine, whatever. You softies.
Did you just Baltisberger bargain yourself into saving these
I
guys?
think I did. Yeah. There's your Baltisberger bargain for this episode. Yeah.
I don't usually talk myself out of what I want to do.
No.
I mean, if you want to mold bomb them, we can leave a swarm of rats here just to kind of, circle around them.
You know what? You can even leave a swarm of rats here to keep an eye on them, and like if they fuck up, we'll come back. Like,
perfect.
And maybe one or two of the rats can like learn English and even tell them that. I don't know what rats can do.
They'll just spell it out like you're
form
it into words like stay the fuck there.
We are watching you.
I'll summon a fucking swarm of rats to keep an eye on these fucks, and then
marvelous
we'll
idea.
jump on the airboat. The
fan boat. Yeah.
All right, cool.
So 2. Okay, that's probably me, and I apologize.
It is you. I was waiting until we were going to be done to mention
my
it.
bad.
Is it your phone? It sounds like you remember how cell phones used to make speakers make insane sounds like that?
Yeah.
Way back, and that was like when they were not even 1G yet.
when they were H.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to burn that ire.
All right.
For success, and it's gonna be summon plus badass, so that's gonna be 3. That's 2 successes on the dice, so that's 3 altogether.
Okay. Yep. You summon a bunch of rowdy rats. They kind of stare up at you like
they're smoking cigarettes, drinking beers.
One of them is wearing a lounge jacket.
That looks good on you, bud. Now, all right. Keep an eye on these fucks. If they start doing anything stupid, fucking scare the shit out of them. I mean, go in their pantry, shit in their flour. I don't know. Fucking just do some crazy shit. Just keep an eye on these
eyeballs. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, fuck.
I like that juxtaposition of do something crazy like poop in their flour, which is a thing rats are known to do, or eat their eyeballs. That scares them every time.
Yeah. Well, also, by the way, something that rats are known to do.
All I'm saying is, you guys are my agents of chaos.
Yeah.
So
go.
All right. You guys hop on the skiff. There are a few directions you can head. You can head north to the refinery. You can head northwest towards the actual offices where it is more than likely their chief warlock for this operation is located. However, if you try to go straight there, you'll be passing through the center of the swamp, which is where Earl told you it's best to avoid. You can also head to the western docks, the southwestern docks, which is kind of close to where the warehouse is. So there are kind of 4 different options for you guys.
I'm tempted to say, as well-intentioned as Earl is, we should just book it straight through the middle of the swamp and head for corporate HQ.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Corporate HQ does sound like the appropriate place.
Yeah, I mean, I know that's the end goal too. To get there and whoop ass.
I mean, what else are we going to learn? Like, big oil companies are bad. Duh. We would just be going around, like, getting our kill count up, leaving plagues, crushing things, and
Which sounds fun. You're talking me into it.
I'm just saying we can still do that after we take out the
True.
giant, I assume, squid creature. No,
Yeah.
we're in a swamp. That's not going to be right.
Gator.
We just fought a gator. That's got to be something else.
No, that was just an oil guy that formed into a gator. It wasn't actually like the. Let's see, I have it written down. The metal gators or any of these.
Maybe it's a big ass mosquito. I don't know.
What if it is a zombie that is kind of like infected by the swamp but evil?
I'll tell you what. There's only one way to find out.
And
skip to the end of the book. Oh wait, no.
Go online and read the people who wrote a review of this show in the future as far as what we eventually fight.
I just call reading slow skipping, a book.
If we want to go to HQ, we can boogie on over there.
I want to fight a manta ray. I want to fight an octopus. I want to fight an army of kittens covered in oil.
So if we avoid the middle of the swamp, is there an area that's directly adjacent to corporate HQ that we could make it to while avoiding the area?
If you go north to, according to the map you have from Earl, if you head straight north, you will be able to get to the refinery, which is exactly east of headquarters.
All right.
So it'll take longer. You have more opportunity. Well, there are more chances that you'll run into twisted litter bugs on the way, which are the Sidine demons possessing animals and garbage. But you would avoid the middle. So it's kind of like, do you want to get there faster but have to deal with whatever spooked Earl? And again, like, Earl's just a human. But on the other hand, he saw the three of you and wasn't freaked out. So whatever's in the middle of the swamp did freak him out. It's Bigfoot.
I'm such a huge fan.
Skunk Ape.
Refinery then, guys?
Skunk Ape. What's that, refinery? Yeah. Let's
Okay.
We should have seen if the town had a Dawn dish soap so that we could clean up the oil slicked animals and stuff.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out later.
If one of us was the spirit of chemistry, but
you hop on the skiff, as I will call it for now, because I've been playing Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and
Zydeco music immediately begins playing.
Immediately starts issuing out of my butt. I love Zydeco.
Yeah.
As you start the fan, you see distressing ripples within the oil slicked water, taking notice of the noise and movement. But that's something you're going to have to deal with no matter where you're trying to get in this horrible, corrupted swamp. Behind you, you hear people wailing and lamenting the dead. And the chittering of rats, excited about pooping in flour.
Hell yeah!
Something in the distance shimmers as the sun begins to rise over the swamp, creating a thick, heady fog. And somewhere in the distance, you hear the rumbling of something that sounds distressingly hungry.